regardless of when this video goes.
This square, it keeps doing your one eye, and it's like...
No, it's face tracking.
It's eye tracking.
Even better.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Watch, put your face close to the camera. It'll find you.
No. What's up, people?
It's Thursday now. Just to recap, if you're a buyer, your best case scenario is you lose your deposit. Best case.
Correct.
Sort of the worst case scenario is you're going to court.
Yeah.
And they're going to sue you for...
Yeah. It's just going to cost you so much more money. Like, just don't do it, man.
The middle option was probably pretty much more likely than not is you're going to go to mediation. Right. So what is that? I've never actually been through it. I mean, I know you were like a witness to something.
Essentially, mediation is both sides come together, right? The party requesting, the requesting and the responding party, what they're called.
Is it done in like a court or is it done in an office?
No, it's done in a mediation office, or nowadays it's done via Zoom.
Yeah.
I wonder post-COVID if it'll ever go back to in person. You have a requesting party, responding party. There's some paperwork done ahead of time, so everybody kind of knows what the complaint is and what the requesting party is actually requesting.
Okay.
And then there is a mediator, right? I think a lot of this sounds redundant and obvious, but just kind of knowing the process. The mediator does not have an opinion. They're literally there to, again, not determine fact. They're there to resolve a settlement.
Yeah.
Right? So like, if I think we're there to prove right and wrong, I think, again, my opinion, that's not really accurate. An accurate description of mediation. We're there to settle, to prevent the issue from going to court.
Okay.
Right? So, and usually, not usually, it's all about money at that point. It's all about like, whatever the requesting party feels that they have lost, monetary-wise, they want.
Yeah.
And then you got to figure out what number works. And, it's sometimes it works, sometimes it gets settled, sometimes it doesn't.
And if it doesn't, then you're going to court. That's the next step.
If the party then wants to sue you,
okay.
And there's all types of fallout that could happen. I mean, there's if an agent's involved, there's all, but we're not talking about that, but there's all types of fallout that can happen from mediation. Now, typically, what happens in mediation, if there's a settlement that is reached, the parties will sign a paper that says there's no further action that can be taken.
Right.
So that's why, if a default does happen, the best bet is, and you get to mediation, is to try to resolve it at mediation.
And this is not a quick process. I mean, this could take months, right?
It does typically take months, yeah.
So you're dealing with this. Now think about...
And the mediation itself can literally take all day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've discussed this, but as the buyer, the seller brings the buyer to mediation.
Right.
That buyer obviously has not purchased that house. That's why we're still here.
Correct, yeah.
One can assume that this buyer still needs to buy a house.
Right.
So theoretically, probably the best thing that should happen is they should put off their search until this mediation is... It's okay leaving this in if you disagree with me. I'm just trying to think about...
I mean, I usually, I shouldn't say usually, because I've never been in mediation from that side. But I guess, I feel like at that point, I would turn over all those questions to an actual attorney.
Right.
Because I feel like they're so close at that point to getting sued that I'm like, I don't want to give any advice that could be taken wrong. I know that's passing the buck. But that's people smarter than me to figure that out.
We're not attorneys. Yeah. So is there a scenario, in your opinion, where you could be a buyer, be taken to mediation, look for another house, go under contract on that house, and now all of a sudden, oh shit, I have two houses? Like the house you're mediating over and the house that...
Probably, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it could happen. I mean, I think if you default in general... I mean, I actually know of a situation, it never reached mediation, but I do know of a situation of buyers who defaulted, literally bought another house right after the default, and then got called for mediation. They settled prior to that, I know that. But they just flat out were like, we just don't want the house anymore.
Yeah, so just know, buyer.
It's risky, it's dicey. It's
a lot
dicey.
that could happen.
Yeah. It is. I mean, again, as we talked before, mediation sucks for everybody. Don't default on your contract. You have plenty of opportunity to get out through the contingencies. If a house poses an unforeseen issue that you were not aware of, there are so many options to get out of that legally, where people may not be happy, but there's nothing they can do about it. Right. And you get your deposit back.
Right.
Don't wait. Just do it. Yeah.
Tell your agent.
Yeah.
Tell your agent I want out.
Yeah.
And if there's a legitimate way.
Think about it this way. If you back out of a contract on a legitimate reason, and then 2 days later you decide you make a mistake, you can always get back in.
Sure.
Right. So.
That was a very informative series this week.
I feel like it was. Boring, but informative.
Well, everyone's wrong.
Anyway, let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do something silly. Zito peeled out of here, man.
Yeah, he's like, well, they're using it in the office, so...
Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to do our white elephant exchange between the two of us. Maybe we'll try and get Zio in, but at this point we haven't told him about it. So there's no time to buy a gift.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get him some more of that margarita mix that he was so happy about last time.
Yeah, we can buy his own damn.
That's true. So again, the rules are there's a cash limit.
$25.
And we have to open it on camera.
Yep.
No exceptions.
Correct.